Приветствую всех любителей интересного геймплея в очередной части прохождения диска Elysium. Вот она, музычка подъехала, которую мы все так долго ждали. Так, забыл я, что мы там в прошлый раз сделали. Но у нас второй день. Какое время? 9:30. Только начался второй день. Найдите Морелла, криптозоолога, найдите спиды и разгоните кровь. Возьмите показания у представительницы Wild Pines. Это там на яхте, проведите вскрытие. Попросите Кима рассказать вам о деле. Я еще не просил Кима рассказать о деле. Давайте все потыкаем. Yes. Быстренько расскажи мне о деле. Абсолютно что угодно.
During that time, a security didn't identify. There's a strong threat. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
Найти и арестовать убийцу. Мы можем снова пройтись по вводным данным?
You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. 3 days ago, during that time. Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Замешаны на сексе.
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind.
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what this case is about.
Может, девушка замешана? Ты уверен, что в этом истории нет никакого сексуального мотива? Да забей.
Excellent. Good.
Так, это у нас тут ачечи всякие. А это что такое? Открыли, кстати, переход? Нет, еще не открыли. Телефон службы поддержки компании, ответственный за эксплуатацию разводного моста. Ага. Можем теперь позвонить, наверное, или нет, не знаю. Так, давайте пообщаемся.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide... The name Silleng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clap.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang!
У меня есть полицейские вопросы. Считаешь, что я крутой? Да, нет.
You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
О, полцены. Интересно.
Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
В смысле, что мы тут делаем? Мы же здесь не для этого.
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the gossamer state.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Крутые парни защищают бизнесменов, а все остальные живут в развалинах. Видал я вещи и покруче. Это иностранец, защищает деловые интересы иностранной нации.
Hyper cool. Anything for you.
Так, Ритория, откуда ты?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All revolution.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Лучше это не упоминать.
Sea guy, apricot suzerainty, it's all the same to me. It's all cool. I'm interested in sales. Go ahead, let's make one.
Блин,
Super high quality, friendly prices.
убедить его дать тебе денег.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Потому что я продажный.
Ah, yes. Lots of cops are.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not doing a very good job.
Sorry, detective.
Извините, детектив. По поводу чего
There's a
может
pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box,
дать
a
мне?
variety of shapes.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more,
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret.
they're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Президент покупать не будете. Ты прав. Я для них слишком чувствительный. Не говори мне, что делать, какие мне нравятся тячки.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you.
О,
You should think
электрохимия.
this through, officer.
These are all boring. Those UV sticks.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium
Концептуализация.
design, super material.
Давайте
very-
покопаемся.
No luck.
Эх, не
Oh,
повезло.
that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're...
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem.
А,
Let's get you
козырек
some real shades.
восприятия. Кстати, неплохой. Блин, мне интересно, потом будут здесь вещи прям совсем крутые.
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy.
You find your
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand. Buy second-hand.
something This jacket is the apex of human evolution. The moment at which man became weather practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because of the awful typeface.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Трепет, кстати, высказался. Возможно, из-за чудовищных шрифтов восприятие окружающего мира притупится. Самообладание плюс. Пока ничего не надо. Тут у нас что?
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers Ultra series.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eye.
A pair of Faun Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness.
Координация, скорость реакции, кстати, прикольная, симпатичная. Мне нравится. 50. Координация, скорость реакции. Минус энциклопедия. Прикольная.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable Faun Ultras.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
Погладить их.
No, don't pity them, officer. These are old Samaran garbage. Don't even look at them. Check out these super cool, fun ultras instead.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
Заблокировано почему-то кроссовки. А, наверное, денег не хватает.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
Поэтому я хочу их купить. Я думаю, что я сам некачественный. Нет.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
50 копеек. Бам-бам. То, что надо. Так, а мы, по-моему, машину еще, да, не разглядывали. И здесь не общались с ребятами. Так, а тут что? И тут, кстати, закрыто. Маслом вниз.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel line,
Давайте быстренько прощелкаем.
side slip marks indicate the black marks on the roof. The panel served as the vehicle soared through. The sign broke the Samaran butter within the past 7. Still speeding. There are two. It's about the Caprice 40 is a very
Вот это
sturdy but
Linnea
light carriage,
G22.
more likely than most to survive that jump.
Посмотреть после такого прыжка.
The Linnea G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which the manufacturer's design team probably thought about for too long.
Очень популярная модель среди банковских служащих, разводчиков пирогов, учителей средней школы, полицейских, переодетых в полицейских стриптизеров, раздетых стриптизеров.
You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell.
Есть какие предположения, кто это мог быть. Что-то... Я вообще без понятия, кто это мог сделать.
Oh,
Кто очень крутой и смелый, кто-то опасный. Быть может, это как-то связано с нашим убийством. Вообще не важно, чтобы составить список подозреваемых, нужно больше улик.
the traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we are not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder?
Знаешь про Джейкоба Ирва? Что такое, кто такой Джейкоб Ирв? Это не начальник? Это забастовки это все.
Somewhere in the depths of your alcohol-addled soul, you find a few threads that you can weave into a story.
Это мог быть только Джейкоб Ирв.
The tip-top tourney champion?
Это в этой книжке мы прочитали, после того, как его дорогой друг и товарищ по гонкам Альфа безвременно ушел из жизни в Африке. Джейкоб Ирв отчаянно пытается найти свою смерть на гоночном треке, однако смерти постоянно удается ускользнуть от него.
The lieutenant patiently listens to the words coming from your mouth.
Jumping canals at night? If I was Jacob Irv, I wouldn't drive in Martinez. The roads are awful. In conclusion, it's a colorful theory, but I don't believe Jacob Irv did this. Should we go?
Принять задание, давайте принять.
If we must.
Бедный Ким, с кем он нафиг связался вообще?
Good morning to you, officer.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and the knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Так, здесь ничего интересного, он даже про это нам не сказал. Это случайно не муж этой Лены? Почему он нам ничего не сказал?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
В среду утром. Еще раз перевести.
You pull the lever all the way up. Nothing happens.
Ничего да не
A spring
происходит.
brings the lever. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality?
Окей, а почему?
Good morning to you, officers. It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage. Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the water lock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes?
Ну, их уж... Да.
Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the water lock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7:15.
7:15 в среду. А сейчас что у нас? Что у нас сейчас? День 2. Непонятно. Почему-то про друга он не сказал. Может, мы уже говорили про друга? Фиг его знает. Так, подожди. Давай, забежим к Рою. Спросим насчет автомобиля.
Hello, hello, traffic. I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. I just don't. Now that I think about it, I do remember him.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
Jacob Ove, the great tip-top champion.
Do you think it may have been Jacob Irv who drove over your roof?
It's a logical explanation. I felt within that thunderous crash a soul plunged into chaos.
Окей. Интересно, это правда? Так, мужики сидят. Даже не знаю, куда двинуть. Можно на предварительный осмотр.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Говорил с ним во сне.
The fish lips stay silent.
I told you, he is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
Мертвец, скажи мне кто-то. Попытался снять ботинки с трупа.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Еще раз.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into... Come on, officer.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit. And the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Unfortunately, no.
Я поступлю как мужчина, у меня есть садовые перчатки.
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, that's right.
Так, подожди, давайте тогда подготовимся. Приоденемся как положено. А там у меня что за перчатки? Сумрак. Электрохимия. Логика. Концептуализация. Внушение. Полицейская волна. Трепет. Там стойкость. Полицейская волна. Инструменты. Инструменты на месте. Можно еще закинуться психикой и интеллектом. Как раз умереть. С этой парочки. Алкоголь. Физиология. Минус дух. Так, тут у нас что? Найдите нарушитель ПДД, закройте шлюз в среду. Это вторник у нас. Все. Разобрался. Тут что горит? Куча очей. Восприятие? Ну ладно, сейчас. Хотя там все эти красные проверки, белых проверок здесь не будет.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. The dead man above those. An 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Давай сразу перейдем к части с результатами. Да нет, зачем?
The corpse is indifferent.
KK57.
KK equals Kim.
And what would that mean? I do. KK57 dash 0503 dash 0815.
А почему я свой не назвал? Ким Кицураги. Почему, блин? Я свой не назвал. Логики маловато.
Next.
Ладно.
NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook, teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
Mondial.
Fair to olive
Кстати,
skin
стойкость
from
мне
the
нужна
Isola
была.
of Windy. This is as the pudgy mess of curdled meat.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Не заглянешь, не узнаешь.
Nor does he look
We're still going with March 4th. 50. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable.
Это
10.
не применимо.
Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK57 0503 08.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. Then again, the right lividity is easy to produce if you know what you're doing.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a elsewhere yet. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other, and so, all across Jamrock.
We should
on,
start
zombie.
the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and...
Так, подожди. Где там одежда? Классическая волна. Вот стойкость. Да, все, достаточно.
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes...
Clothes. The deceased.
See, it's happening.
Babroudine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavenging.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
Не упоминать ботинки, записать.
Tattoos. The upper torso. The assistant has a the deceased has a well-nourished, athletic. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Потрогать или просто записать? Там было потрогать, но типа слабо, нежно.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
То есть, вот легонько, просто.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head. More hair sticks to the glove. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now. The lieutenant watches you in silence.
That was some sick shit!
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity.
Шумовками брошенные с низкой скоростью.
Fucking
Ну сейчас
love talking.
начнется.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest.
Не,
You
просто
get your mark.
записать.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. We need to cut the belt to see...
See?
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Так, это красная проверка. Искать подходящее место для разреза.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then...
Дверь давай подверни
A
еще.
really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of cracking sound.
Yeah, fuck it.
Told you my pig was...
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
Пусть попробуй. Не, отдай.
His head, yes. You were about to cut off his head.
Yes, that's much better form than you had. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No!
I fucking knew it.
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
Какие пули? На верхних, нижних конечностях повреждений нет, однако наблюдается асимметрия. Боевые ранения на правой руке, в верхней и нижней частях бедер. Все-таки старые шрамы. Я ему куда-то в грудь выстрелил, мне казалось.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Насыщенную боевую жизнь. Визуальный анализ.
Last item, hands.
Не мешает. Ну, давай
The
поднимем.
hand feels heavy.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What? Central nervous...
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Понятия не имею, что сказать. У вас есть какие-нибудь мысли по поводу его центральной нервной системы? Что это центральная нервная система, произносит лейтенант, и резко обрывает сам себя. И можно вывести какую-то мораль. Причем здесь мораль? Нет, вписываем.
Musculoskeletal. Purge...
With
Yeah, Jack.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions.
О, взглянуть в
No
рот
screen.
обязательно.
no, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in. You managed to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach. All it takes is concentration. Through it, you see nothing but mute silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA.
О, нет сведений.
Ah. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Так, сексуальную тему мы отмели, поэтому у нас есть один анализ. Токсикологический анализ. Он смотрит на чудовищного кадавра. Даже если перед смертью он искупался в кокаине, сомневаюсь, что на этом этапе эксперты смогут что-нибудь обнаружить. Однако, можете добавить.
Brimming with cocaine.
Однако можете добавить запросы на исследование, но такого варианта нет.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Gastrointestinal.
Пищеварительная система. То он смотрит на образовавшуюся на земле лужу экскрементов. Он облегченно выдыхает. Чувствуя завершение осмотра, это последний пункт списка.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voilà.
Записать на опустить вуаля.
What's next on the list?
Описание
Let's see.
повреждений.
We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged, and an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention those. Better not to muddy the waters.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck?
Now, injuries. Head, chest, and scalp. And your opinion, officer?
Так, не является
Agreed.
причиной.
Next injury? So,
Кровоподтеки.
the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early...
At maximum.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his...
Тоже не является.
Next.
Борозда.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact.
Темно-красная борозда вокруг шеи с разрывом в области затылка около 7 сантиметров. Подъязычная кость раздроблена. Подъязычная кость раздроблена. Шейный отдел позвоночника не поврежден. Шейный отдел не поврежден.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Царапина от ногтей на шее отсутствует.
Below the
Записать.
note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Предварительное заключение является причиной смерти, не является причиной смерти, травма нанесена посмертно. Предварительно.
We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start.
Это потом где-то отразится, если то, что я отметил предварительную смерть, ну, в негативную
Let's wrap
сторону.
this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances...
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
Да ладно, с чего вдруг? С чего вдруг я умру, если выпью? Что теперь?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. For processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Не тратить время
I'm
попусту.
sure we didn't get everything.
Ты же не дурак.
There's always something.
И установил вот возможную причину. Не тратить время попусту? Что это значит? Не тратить время попусту, ты же не дурак. Это что значит? Пакуем ее, отвезешь в участок. Давай бахнем.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more. The corpse seems to you.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to... It would have to be...
Fuck are you look?
Only if all else fails. This is one task we cannot sideline.
Да блин, я на самом деле, наверное, даже и не буду холодильник никакой искать.
Socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
Левые варианты ответов дают плюс 4 очка опыта. Это, кстати, неплохо. Блин, что такие левые, что такие правые? Реакционеры повсюду. Ничтожный инвакоммунист. Минус авторитет, минус визуальный анализ. Ну, блин, неплохо. Можно кучу опыта понабрать, да и закинуть в визуальный анализ и в авторитет закинуть. И дальше хапать опыт на леваческих ответах. Отправить тело жертвы на экспертизу? Да, наверное, прямо сейчас отправлю нафиг на экспертизу. Где у меня авторитеты? Что там еще? Где эти мысли все? Сила воли, лимит улучшения. Варианты моралиста плюс 1 к боевому духу. Плюс 4 очка опыта. Нападение на физический объект компенсирует урон. Лимит улучшения повышается до 5. Спиды дают 1 пси. Логика, цена самообмана. Визуальный анализ. Лимит улучшения повышается. Блин, забыть, не забыть, вот тоже вопрос. Можно просто в логику закинуть. Может перерасти в РФП. Эмпатия высокая. Чтобы достичь цели, придется бросить наркотики, электрохимия. Трепет двумя ногами на земле. Бонусы от мыслей. Скучно, но надежно. Лимит улучшения всех навыков повышается до 3. Ну, типа эмпатия. Вот до 3. Авторитет. Вот эта ветка. Была бы единица психики, было бы очень круто. Что там еще раз? Где она? Визуальный анализ, авторитет. Ну, визуальный анализ, за него я... Нифига себе у меня его сколько. За него я больше всего переживаю. Ну, в принципе, 4. Офигеть, тут бонус от мысли минус 1. Бонус от предметов плюс 1. Нет, что-то я не хочу сейчас тратить. Где карта? Есть у меня где-то визуальный... ну вот, следы. Следы, визуальный анализ. Подожди, а что с ними?
What do you see?
Что тут такого?
A woman or a kid? Understood. Anything else? 200?
He might be right. 200 kilograms of...
Maybe
There is real, palpable excitement in his voice at the prospect of it not being a...
it could have been, but if it... I do.
But why? There are 8 pairs of tracks.
Interesting. Someone
He regrets it.
a drummer on... Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver, we should keep our eyes open around the traffic. You're right. Let's keep a week.
It is not.
As I said,
Correct.
Где вот эта фигня?
Sub-zero temperature.
what do I then have?
Indeed. Yes. Everything fit. The lieutenant doubt perhaps.
Either way.
Нифига не понимаю, как это работает, вообще не понимаю, как эта карта работает. Я не понимаю. Если смотрите, вот такие белые, есть вот такие белые. Охраняемая дверь, болевой порог. Сложно. Пойдем туда сбегаем. Охраняемая дверь. Не, ладно, давай сразу закинем. Или подожди. Поговорим.
You missed a... He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno! Stop choking, Kuno! The faggot...
Kuno's not fucking choking. Like, fuck you. Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down. Now let's talk normal shit. Yes, yes. Kuno wants a normal conversation. Ask normal shit, please.
Эмпатия, слабенько. Ну давай.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for...
Trying to fuck it to Kuno.
Kuno gonna fuck...
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
He can't do that, Kuno! He's trying to fuck at you again!
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? That's where Kuno gets his daily...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old.
It's a vitamin, pig. Yeah, it's...
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against...
You're not getting this.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're...
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, to the good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing. Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno... Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on...
Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job is on the line. He'll sympathize.
Я теперь леваческие ищу эти выражения.
Can't you see his hair is red? The color of social democracy? Not all of them.
The fuck are you...
Don't pay attention.
It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing.
Kuno's never seen anything so lame. Listen, pig. If you were Kuno, the fuck would you care?
Да блин, как отсюда съехать-то? Все, не хочу. Я знаю, где Хладос.
See sad shit?
Ё-моё, еще
Kuno
по
doesn't
боевому
fucking
духу
care about this
получил.
sad shit. Now,
Why don't we go...
That's actually not such a bad idea.
Что там? Почему бы
Kids
нам
do
не
see
поднять
stuff.
теперь каких-нибудь других детей? Да не, я пойду в дверь ударю. Может быть, она откроется, может быть, я там сам найду Хладос. Что-то я, блин, это, кинул кубики, проиграл, и все. А, женщина это. Ну, ладно, может, и поговорим, не знаю.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands
Вот,
before you,
разрушитель,
covered
подготовка
in
выполнена.
dozens, if not hundreds,
97%.
of Seminese trinkets and charms. It
О,
appears to be locked.
зелененькая. И чё?
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Угу. Ты где, Ким?
What is this place? Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. No.
Что-то за звуки, да, какие-то слышишь? Воздух или что-то там, это, вздохи? Непонятно. Но в любом случае надо инструменты бахнуть. А, ну пакет может пригодиться, подожди. И пригодится сохраниться. Шар, кстати, за 13,7. Это буль. Надпись на плакате. Чего? Остальное не читаемо. Цитиус, что-то там такое. Видавшая в виде гимнастическая стенка выглядит небезопасно. Так, а что с этой?
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety
Голова
hazard.
болит. Заметил зажимы.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Красненькая.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. Even your body has failed you. It's a miracle you didn't injure yourself. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to smash through that back door.
Чё у меня голова-то болит, я не понял.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either.
Ты ё-моё. Последняя таблетка.
At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Голова все равно еще болит. Ну, Ким там предпочитает бегать. Не хочу его слушать. Так, заходим. Проход в коридоре завален старыми оконными рамами и мусором. Тут где-то холодос должен быть. Смотри, на тебя смотрят дикие животные. Чучело на подставку. О, кстати, может, этому отнесем? В кафешку огромная бутыль, заполненная странной жидкостью. Так. Какие-то звуки странные. Лопасти воздушных винтов, покрытые паутиной, напоминают лезвие. Меня тут пытаются напугать, что ли, или что? Обнаженный торс манекена странного желтого цвета. Опа, 3,12, не кисло. Что ты теперь на это скажешь? Мягкий синий бархат, побитый молью. Могу до тут дотянуться. О, карта какая-то, смотри. Нифига тут двигаться и двигаться, блин.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
В полном одиночестве в его словах слышится удивление и долю любопытства.
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Is the lieutenant a little scared? Just now when he looked around. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Так, нам заставку пойдет, наверное. Заглянуть в отсек, нажать «Заглянуть».
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling.
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Окей. Ну, дверь куда-то. На блокнотном листе накорябано. Непонятно что, блин. Извиняюсь.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Я знаю, как должна выглядеть кирданская мозаика.
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. Someone very important. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Так, что у меня тут? Дофига, давайте визуальный анализ все-таки качну. Потихонечку надо качать. Ух ты. Нифига себе, где мы вообще находимся? А, вот он, холодос.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
Так, ты видишь жуткого белого медведя со странной дверцей в животе. Дверца покрыта инеем. Глаза медведя горят
This
красным.
ice bear is a hyper carnivore. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Да, вряд ли прям настоящий медведь был такой здоровенный. Белый медведь гиперхищник, будь осторожен. Ровно белому медведю вскрыть крышку. Ну, хоть он и говорил про то, что мы ищем холодильник здесь, в этом помещении, Куна нам не рассказал, что это его холодильник.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious bed. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is big enough. And cold enough too.
Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
За голову будет
The
держать.
2 of you, easily. The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get down to the butcher, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this, perhaps even some pagan rites.
Да, не осмотрел холодильник.
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room.
Да, из-за имеющихся у нас средств.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
О, заморозил тело. Эмпатия, давай.
I'm gone. I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You into the what in the past. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer.
It takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Cobbo.
Да, реально он был это убийцей. Теперь мы уже знаем это.
What do you mean? It's the power of your...
Начинает пузыриться у него на губах.
You mad? Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Coming right up, copperoonie. Because you have loved it Provocopo. It was love all along.
Его убила любовь. Но я буду верить ему теперь.
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? Ha!
The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure I got out of that one? Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself.
Ай-яй-яй-яй, я чё, умираю? Я чё, умираю?
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Fuck me? I understand this is by no means an easy investigation.
Nothing you can say would make you. Cop
Да
gives up.
блин! Не-не-не, загрузить. Quick save. Блин, что там такое нажал, что меня убило? А, это выйти, окей, ладно. Ну, бери. Еще раз штангу попробуем
Barbell
тягнуть.
is 60. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. You managed to hoist. Even your body has. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to smash through that back door.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. You're right. The weights may fall out. It would be a violation of EP.
Блин, последнее. Подожди, а как? Он мне -2, что ли, дал? Трупешник этот. Трупешник вроде был. Кто он меня убил? Ну его нафиг, я не хочу с ним разговаривать больше. Огромная бутыль, заполненная со стороны жидкостью. Берем. Сюда. Можно зайти. Что такое? Узловой блок памяти. Производственные графики. Берем. Стальные лопасти винта с логотипом Slipstream. Паралыш с надписью Slipstream. Опа, полторашка. Мягкий синий бархат, побитый молью. Еще 3.12. Обнаженный торс манекена. Так, это что за карта?
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
Мастеров восковой магии.
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Что такое?
One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged.
Бесценный раса должна быть уничтожена.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. Just look at those details. So much effort.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. So much pain, back pain, neck pain, headaches, carpal tunnel, chest pain. No gym membership can make up for working in this manner. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Блин, этот трипс мне вообще... А сюда нельзя пройти?
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
Закинули мне враг физического мира.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
Поддуть на ушибленные костяшки. Может, ХП восстановится?
Why do you think there's something on the other side necessarily?
Ну, блин, потому что здесь дверь.
In any case, there's
Закрыто.
no way we can get in right now.
Открыто. Открытка. Дельта 51. Дельта 51. 51 год. Ботинки в луже тающего снега. Хватаем. Так, окей, это ничего не ведет. У меня есть, в принципе, для компа для этого. Давайте здесь прощелкаем.
This old file, the whole thing resembles history classes, radio frequency, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Навидим капиллярные сосуды очень... то есть мы имеем дело с медициной. Должно быть это какой-то образчик искусства.
The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this.
My God, the schedule. I know doom when I see it.
Nothing.
This
appears
The radio computer. But we are looking for a fridge, and we are...
On the other hand, it's not that
Maybe the bud...
is the lieutenant a little. The machine lights up like some It's empty like a beehive. Without the filament you have would fit perfectly like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play keys. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Так, где это? Отправить тело жертвы, поместить тело. А, ну готово, да, уже? Найдите свой пистолет. Найдите свой пистолет зачеркнуто. Соберите всю возможную информацию в пистолете. Собрал. Понятно.
Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like tech. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
То есть мы конкретно сейчас с кем-то общаемся?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident.
Fortress Accident.
As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Я ничего не понял. Что такое производственный график? Вы вставили узловой блок. Узловой блок график?
Yes. Is that the production schedule? If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Пожалуйста, откройте эту штуку.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Still no.
Не, ну а какой пароль? Где его искать?
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for trace accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Чё? Я не могу предоставить вам доступ к блоку памяти, не зарегистрировав предписание в Lintel.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. The filament slides out.
Окей. Разработчики самой крутой РПГ во вселенной. Листе. Понятно, поехали. О, кстати, плюс боевой дух сразу нам тут дают. Чтобы я не отъехал от мертвеца. Стена обрушилась, теперь здесь не пройти. А это что такое?
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
Открывает дверь, осторожно взглядывает внутрь.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Мертвая крыса. Заглянуть в котел, измазать руки сажей, пнуть котел.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other.
What are you doing? Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs.
Защитными экранами, что мы видели наверху.
We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
+1, -1. Зачем я все бью, блин? Зачем в этой игре можно все бить?
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid. Still, it's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear coal for makeup.
Ой, я, наверное, могу штангу поднять теперь. Машина на Для производства мороженого отключена сети и разморожена. Это что такое желтое что-то? В свете фонарика появляется странная тень. Здесь есть дверь. За трубами спрятаны две ржавые винтовки, на вид нерабочие.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Это еще что? Потайную комнату. Смотри, тут дыра в стене.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Может, лучше ты?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Под потолком кто-то припрятал сломанное оружие.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard and fireplace?
Делают компьютер, доска и камин. Похоже на секретную операцию контрразведки. Очередная обанкротившаяся фирма. Вопрос только в том, что за хрень они производили.
Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Это отсылка какая-то?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Интеризоларную игру.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Типа это земли дракона, где ты звонишь оператору и свой ответ диктуешь. А он записывает. И у вас на кубе хранится это общее.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Давай ее закончим.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
Боюсь, слишком поздно.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Ну, 5 опыта накинули, уже неплохо. Что за предметы? У меня старинная винтовка Бельмаграф появилась. Древняя сломанная Бельмаграф. Это боевая 4-зарядная винтовка со скользящим затвором и деревянным прикладом. Открытка, Дельта 51. Узловой блок памяти, производственный график. Производственный график. Это график производственный, понятно. Короче, это просто... Это фигня. Я думал, поиграть удастся. А это... типа USB-шка. Работник. Нифига тут помещение, блин. Замерзшая машина для производства мороженого все еще работает. Замерзшая. Так, здесь мне нужны инструменты другие. И выход какой-то другой.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Rip the red one out. Look how giant and red and inviting it is. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Somewhere in the dark, a giant electrical mammal stirs to life. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
Драм +1. Безумная майка в сеточку. Провода ведут в электрический щиток. И куда я я здесь вышел. Я теперь могу заходить? Я теперь могу заходить. Ништяк. Не понимаю, зачем я выдергиваю провода, отключая что-либо.
You see a terror. This ice bear. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it text? The lieutenant doesn't answer. A gust of freezing. The lieutenant takes a peek inside.
Of course. Let's take a look in.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
То есть это, наверное, компания такие под свою продукцию предоставляла холодильники. Откуда вообще взялся огромный холодильник в виде белого медведя?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Красный. Если надо указывать на красный, похожий на змею кабель, идущий от холодильника. То есть можно труп отключить, и он разложится.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity.
It's certainly
your visual.
Shall we go and
the two of you? The body is heavier than you and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the butcher. Then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step.
Beautiful.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rite.
Of course you don't. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bear fridge. If I were an artist, this would certainly not be my vision. I would be much, much more conservative in my work.
He's right. His work would be much more formal.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped. waiting.
Вот и все. Так, я тут хочу сохраниться.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
А, падает. Куда ты падаешь?
His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You
Мне же...
still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Подождите, да ё-моё. Я хочу перезагрузиться. Сука, у меня две, блин. У меня две ударил.
The bear's
Что меня
eyes
бьет
are
так
still
больно?
glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden.
I'm gone. I like it alone. In the park. I'm a joke. There is nothing fun. A killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Cobbo. What do you mean? Ask me more. What do it's the you? Go ahead. Ask because coming right up, Copperoonie. Fuck no. You're no, you don't. Between you and me, that's right. Stupid, boring, because you laughed at me, Improvocopo. Sure, looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes. You're a lying sack of shit, Copo. Do I remind you?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism.
Sure I do. Come back later, Copo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and shoot, Luke. Come back later, Copo.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep.
Еще раз, я могу ночью сюда прибежать, снять с него ботинки. Чё так, блин?
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and...
It'll come to you sooner or later.
Офигеть, блин. Надо пойти закупиться. Что за черный, интересно? А, подожди.
Yes?
Да не. Ты стал таким, капец? Такой музон здесь. Да выгляди, призрак пролетит. Так, хочу посмотреть.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog.
Нет, тут ничего нет. Я думал, может быть... Зачем я испачкал руки в грязи? Зачем ты же испачкал? А, тут закрытая дверь. А, ну, пробитая. Закрытая, разбитая.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something, you always do.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. Yes, the Simonese are very crafty and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
The woman before you scans the store.
Так, побежать туда. Покричать в дымоход.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Промочил горло. Когда я промочил горло? Вообще за историю игры.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello? Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
you hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being...
After you, officer.
Наконец-то мы его... Как тут пройти? Вот туда, назад вернуться? Это та соседка моя. Вот, вот тут, да? Во. А, нет, какая-то другая женщина. Лотки полны игральных костей разнообразных форм и цветов. Их тут сотни. Автомат с конфетами переделали под хранение 1000 кубиков.
Hello, I'm Nia.
Речь с игральных костей. Здравствуйте, я Ния. Стоит на троне из инструментов. Сквозь ее волосы пробивается изумрудный свет. Прикольно здесь живет.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of dye are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people. Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
She nods,
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
Находимся в дымоходе. Так вот же дымоход. А это это самодельная фигня. Кровати ее не вижу, а так, в принципе, норм. Дымоход с окном. Ну вот дымоход, это не дымоход, это фигня какая-то. Это лестница какая-то, наверное. Или что-то, я не понимаю еще, что это. Может, какая-то винтовая лестница? Но нет, это все самодельное.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Creative.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Вступила в сговор с демонами.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Да, блин, я никогда даже об этом и не думал. Я так чисто это.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
Поприкалываться над Плезенцией и доказать ей, что она не права, вот все.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today? More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, Quite a lot of them spring to mind.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Так, чё, в конечном итоге коалиция отменила финансирование и клуб обанкротился. Это было несколько лет назад, с тех пор площадь стала куда спокойнее. Была парикмахерская.
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
Чё? Снаф мильёшь такое вещание.
What's the snuff milieu? Trust me, you don't want to know.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean, to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Even you can probably do better than that.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? Anyway. They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in '47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
They were just props. Why return them?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. The usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
Ну да, они могли все добиться. Хороший проект был для тех лет. Хотя, может быть, рынок был слабый. Сейчас-то игровой рынок гораздо больше.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revershow ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
Интересно. Просто про медведя. Медведь сработал. Не, какие еще?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Стояли за прилавком. Лучше бы мороженое красивым девчонкам бесплатно раздавали, чтобы те ходили жевали.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Осуждает такое поведение в смысле? Это Тити. Фритти так делает.
Fritte does the same thing.
Прямо как во Фрите, да.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravishou ICT. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishou ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't doing his best, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants.
Sounds cool. Scary, but cool.
Мегатерион.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide you toward those amphetamines you've been craving.
Блин, какие дурные ответы.
Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
Блин, нашел домофон. Кстати, по домофону надо было пообщаться, но у меня надо закупиться, блин. Чем-то там.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. The one with an empty name card. It's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
Угу. Знаем теперь, чья кнопка пустая.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure. Sure, I'm listening.
У меня еще есть вопрос по поводу домофона.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it
Трепет
clarified things a
легендарно.
bit.
Блин, да отъехать
What
можно, но его
else?
нафиг не буду. Давайте F5 хотя бы нажмем. Потом тут трепанем.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for...
You feel nothing. If anything, it's
Начать
uncomfortably
раздеваться,
warm
тебе
in
нужно
here.
чувствовать окружение.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Officer,
Офицер! Мне кажется, ли здесь жарковато. Я пытался понизить температуру своего тела. Специальный прием, который я использую. Застегнуть штаны. Неважно, это была очень плохая идея. Молния ее заела.
Oh no, not the zipper.
Как отсюда выйти-то, блин?
Undressing in a stranger's place of business? Yes, it was an unbelievably bad idea.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
Ну и, собственно, все. Пилиться, или как там ее? Надо к ней бежать. Парали, говорят, где-то всплывать имеет свойство.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
Я просканировал ее ауру.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Before you say anything, ask yourself, is the woman really able to withstand the truth? The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down.
Ну вот да, прям две противоположности мне закинули.
Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her.
Офигеть, тут еще что-то будет.
To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
О, странный радиокомпьютер. Может быть, у нее пароль есть?
You're telling me that you went in there and didn't find out anything about the curse? Of course. I should have known better than to put my hopes on a man like you. You're no Simonese ghost whisperer. You're an alcoholic. The investigation's over. I don't want you going in there anymore. You're only angering the psychic weather in here. Now, if you're not going to buy anything...
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Подожди, я не могу тут пройти. А что значит? Я могу тут пройти. Почему она вообще это? Ноги ваши там не будет. Все нормально. Так, ну мы дофига сделали на самом деле, да? Что по карте? Повешенная внутренняя империя средняя. Ага, это я боюсь. Мне надо сбегать, да, закупиться. Я пойду сбегаю, закуплюсь во фриту. Блин, не хочу, да, вообще сейчас ни с кем разговаривать. Боюсь умереть. Сохранюсь. Ящик, может, поглажу.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Нифига себе. Нах, пошел ящик. Все нормально.
There is a hollow ring as you kick the box.
О, даже
It
плюс
sounds
один.
like it's mostly empty. Your toe hurts now. Your toe has
А,
suffered
вот теперь
damage.
минус.
It hurts.
Палец явно поврежден.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box. I don't. Let's go.
Ну теперь он нас точно не
The
любит.
mail collection.
Этот ящик, окей. Так, кстати, есть у меня какие-нибудь бутыльки?
The tear machine stand. Your bottles clunk.
30.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the same
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or okay, here. I hope okay, here. I hope okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint is this about the questions again? Because I...
Окей, дофига у меня, конечно, очков опять. И это радует. Ладно, спасибо, что посмотрели. Прожмите лайки. Скоро с вами продолжим играть в эту замечательную игру. Сегодня дофига сделали хорошего. Нифига ты как стоишь, Ким. Ты что там спрятался? Скоро продолжим. Всем хорошего настроения. Пока.